Hi, this is Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you are listening to Without Your Head. And you better keep listening to Without Your Head, or you will not only be without your head, you will be without your soul, because I will tear it apart.
Wow, look at all that. What do you got behind you?
Oh, well, I just added the Toxic Avenger
Yeah.
popcorn bucket. Got some Universal Monsters, a couple trophies from
This
festivals.
all looks familiar. Have we talked before? Did we
We
talk on
have
the
talked
first one?
before. Yeah, for
Aha,
Jester
I thought
1.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
So,
you had
well,
a big hat on last
I
time.
did. I should have brought the
Yeah.
hat, but it's actually warmer today, so I didn't bring the hat.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So congratulations on Jester 2.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and welcome back to Without Your Head.
Thank you. It's great to be back. It's
Yeah.
nice to see a familiar face.
Yeah, so last time we talked, for people who don't know Jester, the first one, it was shorts on YouTube. It got a big following. You make the feature. So what was that experience like then to get and go see it with an audience in a theater?
The first one was the theatrical experience was great because I only saw it with friends and family and then the cast and crew. So you couldn't ask for a better audience than those. And that was it, it was super limited theatrical run on the first one. So if you had to choose, I think I had the best theatrical experience there.
Fair enough. So September 15th and 16th, 2 nights through Fathom Events, which was really cool. And right away in Jester 2, the reintroduction of the Jester when he comes out of the casket, comes out of the trunk and peels off the head. This is not a spoiler. It's right at the beginning. It's great. And I like that you change his appearance up a little bit.
Yeah, I really wanted everything about this short to feel more evocative. Sorry, feature to feel more evocative of the shorts. I really wanted to get back to that tone, the atmosphere, the fun and the whimsy of the short films, and also the look and feel of the Jester. I wanted the mask to feel as evocative as possible of the one in the shorts. So we could have just changed the mask and have him show up in this movie with a new look. That happens all the time in these, horror franchise sequels. But I thought if I can get away with it and he can peel the old mask off to reveal the new one, I think that could be fun.
100%. And you talked about the tone there and said, whimsical and it's fun, and it definitely is. But like all the deaths and stuff, they're still grim. It's still a horror movie. It's not like where a movie where you just are going to laugh at the kills.
Right. Yeah, I think it became a personal challenge of mine at a certain point in our short films where I want to try to make as many characters in any project that I'm working on as likable as possible. Even the ones that we might want you to dislike at first show they are people and they are people with other dimensions that you might not get to see all the time. But if also it's a little cruel to do the audience to say you wanted to see this guy die, right? Well, actually, he's sad inside. How do you feel now? And then we kill him.
Yeah, that works on a couple levels because if you actually care about the characters, it means more when they die. And I also think, in a weird way, you're like challenging the audience. You're like, well, wait a minute. Like we all love these horror movies, but is it cool if we actually would see these people get murdered?
Right. And, a lot of these movies, it's called The Jester, just like, in a Friday the 13th or a Halloween, you're rooting for Jason, you're rooting for Michael. And it's like, I want people to root for the Jester, sure. But also, do you want this guy to die? It is like a little bit of a challenge to the audience. It's like, pick your side. It's not always a black and white thing.
Yeah, which I think that's why Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 is so beloved because
Yeah.
you actually care about all the kids in that movie.
Yeah. Love that one.
And so you also add a lot of new mythology to the Jester, which I was really into. And I don't want to say humanize him, but you see more, of a personality with the Jester in this movie.
Yeah, we wanted to give a little more depth, and I figured though you can't really do that if he's by himself all the time. So figuring out a way to put him with somebody and keep him dangerous was tough. And then also, yeah, trying to make the mythology feel appropriate for this character and not derivative of the hundreds of other horror, I don't want to turn this into a Thorn cult thing, or it's like, oh, why did you bend over backwards to explain a thing no one asked for, but it was I actually came across the story of Stingy Jack, which is an old folktale about how the jack-o'-lantern came to be. It's a guy who made a deal, tricked the devil, made a deal with the devil, that his soul was not to be taken to hell. So the devil said, "Sure, gotcha." And then when he did eventually die, since he was such a jackass, he wasn't allowed into heaven. And then when he went down to hell, they were like, "Sorry, you made the deal. We got to honor the deal." So he was forced to walk Earth for eternity with only it was a turnip at the time, but a jack-o'-lantern to light his way. And I was like, what a dickhead. This guy sounds exactly like the Jester. So just like taking pieces of that and kind of applying it to the Jester's backstory, and maybe sprinkling in some unreliable narrator stuff, because the Jester is telling his own backstory. So it's kind of, it's like there's still as much mystery as I wanted to leave in as possible, but just giving those breadcrumbs.
I like that, because there's a lot of folk stories everyone knows about, and I always think people should like find stuff that not everyone knows and either make a movie about it or be inspired by that.
Yeah, I was super lucky to find that.
Yeah, how did that come about? Like, was you just happened to read it, or were you like researching? Like,
Yeah, I was
something?
researching, because when we were talking about, well, we have to do something in this, to give him more of a backstory or more depth to him or something, explain something. And I don't know, we were talking about it. It's like, he feeds on fear. Now he can't do that. Oh, you have to dress up in that's too logistical. So what Halloween folk tales, is what I searched, because that was the original intention with the short films. We wanted him to feel like an urban legend, an old folk tale, this thing that's passed down for years from Halloween legend, and keeping with the Halloween theme, the folk tale vibe. Was super lucky to find that.
Yeah. And the Max character, I mean, she kind of represents the audience, I think, for horror movies, because it's like, again, someone who's dark and kind of weird, maybe the outsider and stuff. But and then when kind of like we were talking about with the whole idea for the movie, like when you're faced with like, oh, yeah, we like horror movies, but would you actually want this to happen? And that's really, I think, what that character represents.
Yeah, I think you saying that she represents horror, like a horror audience, especially, is really good, because Max is in this awkward place in her life where she's 15, so she's not quite a child anymore. She's not yet considered an adult. So she's at this weird nebulous crossroads where she's trying to figure out, I love these things as a kid and I still love them, but I'm kind of picked on and bullied for them. So maybe I don't like these things as an adult. It's that awkward, like when we get into our teenage years, we stop liking the things that we love to fit in. But then, like most horror fans realize, as they turn into adults, they're like, actually, I love all this shit. Like, this is my favorite stuff. And they embrace it anew. And that's kind of the lesson that Willie, her the magic shop owner, and the Jester are both telling her. These things make you unique. You shouldn't throw them away. You should embrace them.
Mm-hmm. And Caitlin herself, the actress, did you know her beforehand? Did you have her in mind when you were writing the character?
No, I didn't know her at all. She was local to Missouri where we shot the film, so we were so lucky that she auditioned for us, because the second I saw it, I was like, is she still available? Can we get her? So yeah, I wrote Max just trying to make the character as likable as possible, and I knew the story is going to be made or break depending on who plays Max, and I'm so lucky that we got Caitlin, because I love Max even more now after seeing her interpretation.
Yeah, she's awesome in the movie. Not just because you're here. I really like this movie a lot.
Thank you.
So I go to the movies all the time, and I've been seeing trailers for Jester 2 in the theater, which is always exciting, because I was like, oh, I've had this guy on the show. He seems like a good guy, and it's nice to, this is going to be playing at around all these different theaters.
Yeah, that's still so cool to hear. I go to the movies all the time as well, and I've not yet seen a Jester trailer in my area before a movie, but I've heard, tell of the Jester trailer out there in the nation, and people seeing it all over. So it's like, oh, that's so cool. That's just like the coolest thing.
Yeah, I just saw it before Toxic Avenger. Actually,
oh my god, that's perfect.
So, and a lot of wild kills in the movie. So I think, a lot of times with sequels, like you obviously want some of the same stuff that you like from the other movies. So you get the cool kills in addition to all the new stuff, which I think is important. But just the kills themselves, like, are these things that you think about, like even when you're not writing the movie, like this is an interesting kill. I'd like to keep this in mind for a future film.
No, I think the only kill that was like that was in the first movie with the popping the cop's head off with the hat. That was like a suggestion made by a friend years and years prior, and we were like, let's do it now. But this one we were starting from scratch, and it's so hard. Like the Jester kills always are like, why did we make him so creative? Why couldn't we have made him just stab people or hit people to death? Like, why does he have to do all? Now I have to look up magic tricks, and now I have to figure out how to manipulate these magic tricks into a kid. It's just like, what have we done? We painted ourselves into this awful corner, and now they're so difficult to do.
Who does the effects for you? Is it the same person all the time? Or same people?
Actually, Jason Baker and his team, they were responsible for creating the first mask in the first feature. And this time, I went to Jason and I was like, you guys are doing the mask for this one. These are the changes I want made. Also, can you guys do everything else? Can you guys do all of because this movie has a lot more effects than the first one. And I know his team is way overqualified for what this movie was asking for. So I trusted him. His credentials are awesome. So I was just like, it would be so great if you guys, I also wanted to work with him in a more intimate professional setting, rather than just talking to him over Zoom and him shipping the mask to us. It's like, have him on set. He's super experienced with working on super, super low budget things. So his team is really innovative in how can we reduce the cost of this effect, and in what way can we shoot it that we get the most bang for our buck, essentially, and we don't have to build entire false bodies for something. We can just kind of, obliquely shoot it from here, and then you get the idea. So super, super talented team. I'm so glad that they were willing to come onto this project because they are very busy.
Yeah, I love the movie. The pinatas, maybe one of my favorite death scenes.
Oh, awesome.
I find losing mouths more disturbing than death scenes for some reason. That really got to me.
That one was rough.
And so congratulations on Jester 2. Hope people go check it out. It's honestly one of my favorite horror movies of the year. And will there be a part 3 down the road?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question everybody's asking. If there is, I feel real bad for the guy who has to write and direct that one.
We'll go out and see this one and force Colin to
if you want a Jester 3, if you're somebody out there who wants one, you have to pay money to see this one. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. That's just how it works.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, man. Maybe we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, this is Adrienne Barbeau. Just call me Billy. Everyone does. And you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.